And I help entrepreneurs to show up big and connect with their people by making big business marketing technology accessible and affordable for small business. Today, we're going to talk about our Tuesday topic of being organized in conjunction with our Monday topic of branding, because amazingly, yesterday, the video just kept going and going and going. And I had to take it down. Finally, I got it stopped, but it was awkward. And so I just took it down. But today, you're not losing any content. We're going to talk about it because the topics actually can work well together. So, in terms of branding, what we were talking about yesterday is the components of your brand. And so, okay, so we were talking about the components of your brand. So it's more than just your logo. So there are five things that typically are part of your visual representation, or what we consider to be your brand assets. The first thing you're very familiar with, that is your logo. That is the icon or words that you use to display whenever your business is present. And so that's pretty much something that we all are very familiar with. The second thing is your that we'll talk about real quick is your color palette. And basically, what your color palette is literally the numbers assigned to the colors that you selected to represent your business. So typically, at least a couple of those colors will be in your logo. And the way that we define those are they're actually numbering systems that assign to a specific color. So, for example, the RGB, and there's multiple different numbering systems, but the main ones that you might want to be familiar with would be your RGB, red, green, blue, and that is more used for digital, when you have digital representation of your brand. And then if you actually want to have something printed like t-shirts or um, mugs or other promotional items, you want to use your CMYK color number. And so those are the two numbers that you want to identify, so that whenever you're representing your business, whether it's in some type of document or a postcard or business cards or anything, all of the colors are consistent, because green is not always green. It's different variations, different hues. And so you want to make sure it's consistent. That's your color palette. So you want to make sure you have your color palette. The third thing that you want to have is your typography. Your typography is the actual text, the font that you use to represent your brand. So you typically have a headline font, a subtitle font, and then you also have a font that is used for any documentation that you prepare. So that every time someone comes in contact with your business, you are giving a very consistent, very professional view of yourself. And so your headline font may be the same as your logo, but it could not be. The point is that you'll have multiple different fonts available. Don't recommend more than one or two fonts, but still, the fonts, your typography is an important part of your brand and how you're distinguished, because some fonts give different personalities, right? Just like colors have different effects on emotion, the fonts also have a different emotion or view that they elicit. So, for example, Playfair is a very fun, whimsical type font versus Times New Roman, for example, which is very formal, right? So that is something you want to consider. The fourth item would be your imagery. The imagery, and this is something um, that I recommend that you do upfront, because this is going to help you when you begin to create more content related to your brand. If you've already identified those images that really communicate the spirit of what you want to share with people in your business, it's just easier because you already have them available. Whether you're building a website or you're talking to someone else, you have that available. So the imagery are the photographs, the pictures that elicit the emotion that you want to have connected with your business. And then finally, your graphics. So graphics are things like images you may use maybe to represent people, or different ways that you want to um, for example, like your logos, the way you want your social media icons to look, all that. Those are kind of the graphics that go along with your business. So you want to have that. And then there are other things like your tagline, maybe you have a mascot, but for the most part, your digital brand is comprised of those things. So again, your logo, your color palette, your typography, your graphics, and your imagery are all part of your visual brand. So I hope that was helpful for you. If it was helpful, then definitely share the video. And if this is something you're interested in learning, I'm actually in the process of releasing a new ebook that walks you through exactly what you need to do to set up on social media. And guess what? All of those items are inputs and those things are needed. So start working on those now. And then when I release that book, you'll be happy, happy, happy you did. So I hope that this is helpful again. And I will check you out next time on Jules Gems. Bye for now.